there used to be a no-go zone for comedians. Comedians really could say what they want, and you didn't mess with them because that's the job. The job is to be controversial. You know, George Carlin said, or I think it was George Carlin. He said, he's like, do you ever think you go too far? He said, my job as a comedian is to draw. There is a line. He's like, and I'm supposed to take the audience and pull them over the line, and then make them afraid to go past the line. Right. But then once they get past the line, glad that they did. Yeah. And that's the point of the comedian, is to drag you out of your comfort zone, to make you laugh at yourself, laugh at other people,
make you laugh at things that you know that the world's telling you is wrong to laugh at. Bill Burr, which, by the way, he's really very funny. Unfortunately,
was very funny.
Unfortunately, he's fallen into the woke category of life, and that is a very sad thing to see someone like him fall from grace. But he did he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about Doge. I think he was talking about Elon Musk.
Yeah, well, he was talking about he was calling him Hitler. And
he's talking about the whole,
because the whole thing, and
they've all lost it. So with the Elon Musk stuff. So, anyways, he talked about that, and it was pretty stupid.
This guy sieg-heiled twice.
Two of them.
Once in the front, if you missed it in the back, and it's just like he still has a job. That guy still has a job. I don't understand those guys. What I don't get is the amount of veterans that people in the armed services that died trying to stop Hitler. And then this guy comes in, and does that.
He looks like, I've never seen Bill Burr look this uncomfortable. Yeah. He's usually very sure of himself. I would, prior to this situation, I would say he was probably more realist. Yeah, comedians out there, very real. He's in that category of real, like, comedians. He tells stories really well. It just seems very real. But this is very uncomfortable.
And I think also because, I feel two ways about this. I think that he's trying to appeal to maybe his business, Hollywood business. But on the other hand, he knows that Trump was overwhelmingly won, and he could lose his audience. Yeah. And now, when I look at him now, as he's talking about it, it looks like he's afraid that maybe he shouldn't have said anything, because people don't hate Trump and they don't hate Elon Musk. And a lot of people, I'm going to venture to say, a lot more people that were conservative probably watched Bill Burr. Oh, and if you see his early stuff, it was really.
It was because he just didn't care.
He talked about race. He talked about women. He talked about And I would say that would have probably appealed. That kind of comedy would appeal a lot more to conservative viewers. Now I think he's realizing I have literally shouldn't have said that.
So let's just with this Hitler situation. Okay, Elon Musk, when he did that whole thing. Okay, when he did that salute to saying my heart goes out to you guys. That's all he's saying. He said that. Yes. He vocally said, he said that my heart goes out to you. Many people have done that. Okay, we know that wasn't a Hitler thing. Okay, that's just nonsense. But the thing is that when it comes to this, Elon even said after all this debacle happened, you guys have got to come up with something new. You have to stop this Hitler stuff. Right. Like, I'm okay with you attacking the right. I'm okay with left people attacking the right. I get it, right? You guys are trying to stand up for something. I don't know what it is, but you're standing up for something, right? But at least come up with some new material. No one believes you. No one believes that Donald Trump is Hitler or any kind of form of that. No one believes that Elon is Hitler or any form of that. No one believes it anymore. And I don't think you guys are still pushing. You guys are still pushing the same nonsense. You are looking more and more dumb, and you are the reason why 77 million people voted for this man.
You're mad at Elon, who has a condition. Yeah. By the way,
his Asperger's.
He has Asperger's. Yeah. And you're still pretending.
He's on the spectrum. He's autistic on the spectrum.
He's, like Daniel said, he actually said, you have my heart or something.
My heart goes out to you.
My heart goes out to you. He actually said that. He actually has an issue. And so I thought you guys were supposed to be for people that have issues.
Yeah, have disorders or anything like that.
You find that these people don't care about you as much as they think they do. You'll find that whatever they say about black people not getting jobs and all this, we're disadvantaged. But then they'll hate black people who don't feel sorry for themselves. Right. They'll sit there and say, people who have disabilities, they really need to be helped. And then when someone with a disability does something that's off because he has a disability, right? then you don't care about him at all. You're burning down his Tesla stations, and you know what I mean.
Stations. And
people are walking around
themselves,
keying cars that are Teslas.
It's just a destructive group of people.
Yeah.
But you know what's really interesting though? The people on the left, they used to, like, they always say that Elon was a liberal.
Yeah.
And so he was on your side until you start going nutty nuts. You know, and then he's like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. I'm moving over here. And so this whole thing over, you know, everyone's having a problem with this Doge thing, of course. That's like it never ends with this Doge thing. Get over it, okay? I cannot believe that people have a problem with the government being audited. Mm-hmm. For so many years, all I've ever heard is that the government is horrible. They are doing weird things in there. They are stealing our money. They are lining their pockets. That's all I've heard for years about the government. And now we have people coming in there, independent group of people coming in there and auditing these very people you guys had a problem with. Everybody was mad at that. And now you have a problem with it just because he's on the side of Trump. It's really stupid. I was watching a video with, I'm going to put it up here. I was watching a video with Barack Obama, right, talking about government and money spending. And it's very interesting because it sounds a lot like Doge.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody. Waste we should be getting rid of, even if we didn't have a deficit. Sure, some of these cuts aren't that big, but no amount of waste is acceptable. Not when it's your money. Not at a time when so many Americans are already cutting back. Just as families are living within their means, government should too. Did you know the federal government pays for a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers? They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters. I'll put their music on my iPod, but I'm not paying for their website. And there are hundreds of similar sites that we should consolidate or just get rid of. By the way, you're not only paying for websites no one needs, you're paying for thousands of buildings all across the country no one uses. For the last decade, the government's owned a massive and completely empty warehouse in the middle of Brooklyn, for example. Now, the government hadn't been able to sell this building and others like it because of red tape and Washington politics that held things up for years. But we're finally cutting through all that and plan to get rid of these buildings in the months ahead. We need to step up our game. We need to go after every dime. We need to make government work for you. That's why, starting today, I've asked the Vice President to lead a renewed effort to hunt down misspent tax dollars in every agency and department of this government. We're calling it the Campaign to Cut Waste.
AKA Doge.
That's Doge. Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi also. Same thing. No problems then. Problem now.
Yes, you do have to cut some programs. I think there's waste out there. I think there are programs that can and should be cut.
Again, we all agree we have to get rid of waste, fraud, abuse, duplication, obsolescence, and the rest. The GAO has given us a blueprint for that, and we subscribe to that. We all agree that we must reduce the deficit.
There's tremendous waste in government, and I think any Democrat who ignores the lessons, the lessons of those who voted, the lessons of the last election, makes a mistake. The people did want government to cut out the waste.
It's almost like the Democrats act like they don't that we don't have things called video. That we don't have any video of the history of what they've been talking. You guys, and it's the same thing.
Right. I mean, and Bernie Sanders, Mr. Let's tax the rich, and we got to get rid of get rid of finances that, people are taking, speaking fees, and these politicians are doing that, and we need to stop that. And then he goes on, and tries to out RFK Jr. And RFK Jr. is like, Bernie, you took the biggest portion.
Yeah. So let me ask Mr. Kennedy again. If we want to make America healthy, will you assure the American people that you will fight to do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to every single American?
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? That's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and
no,
protecting
no, no,
their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
because I had
receiver of pharmaceutical money
from workers all over this country. Workers,
you were the
not a nickel from corporate PACs.
You were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million.
That's why he don't like Doge. Bernie's doing it too. That's why they don't want Doge at all.
Yeah, because
they're going to find them.
The waste, fraud, and abuse. I think it's more fraud and abuse.
RFK Jr. made him admit that he took $1.5 million.
And then he tried to downplay it.
That was $200 million, but you took money, Bernie.
Mr. $27. Yeah. Mr. $27. So I'm like, no, this is... Do you see the hypocrisy?
What's her name? Elizabeth Warren's worth $84 million. How's that $84 million. Elizabeth Warren.
She gets paid $200,000 a year. How's that? Make that make sense.
Warren, why are you so afraid of transparency? Why are you bothered by the fact that Elon Musk is attempting to expose all of this fraudulent spending? What is that about? What is the problem here? What is the problem with transparency? Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Senator Warren, I just want to answer a question. How did you get a $12 million net worth on a $200,000 salary in Congress? How did you...
These people don't like Doge.
Because it's exposing them. It's exposing them. They are the ones who are lining their pockets. It's the Democrats and the Republicans and I don't care who it is. The people that are in government right now that are scared of Doge, those are the ones that are lining their pockets, which is why they're mad. And what we're seeing right now is a lot of Democrats are getting upset in office because they know that the hammer came down, is coming down right now.
Remember, I was just telling you this morning, remember you actually saw it, the Joe Rogan interview with Elon Musk, and he wanted to know what was in there, and he said, so there's more insider trading in there. He was like, I don't
want to go too far with that because he
fears for his life.
Here's how delusional, and this is how heavy the EDS and TDS is right now. See, liberals are going to see what we just put up, right? They're going to see Barack, they're going to see Nancy, they're going to see Bernie, they're going to see Schumer, they're going to see all of these people, right? Say exactly what Doge is doing right now. And they're still going to say that it's wrong what Doge is doing. This is how deep TDS actually goes.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like the hypocrisy is so funny to me. It is not a new thing for people to look into government and spending. What is new here is that we have an outside person coming in and actually looking at the fraud. That's what's new.
And Bill Burr is ruining his career.
Yes,
his career carrying water for these people.
100%. 100%.
He's ruining a good career, where he was one of the most funniest comedians. And he's ruining it so he can carry water for these idiots in here that are just robbing the country. It's every liberal I ever met always said, the government is such a lie.
I know.
And that's why we got to have a revolution, Bernie Sanders. We got to have a revolution, a political revolution. We got to have a revolution. And now we get to now see it. But because your guy didn't win, you now don't care about what the government's doing with our money.
It's pretty
It is just
lame.
The Democrats can really brainwash their own people into hating something they should love.
And it is infuriating to see people that I know fall into this delusion. The fact that they can sit here and still shot Elon doing the, saying my heart is out to you guys, knowing that Kamala has done that, my heart goes out to you, Tim Walz has done that.
Anybody can do that if you still shot them. If you say hi, and someone just takes a picture of you like this, well, then you look like a Nazi now. Go, hey, Danielle. Hey, Danielle.
Like Elon said on Joe Rogan, he said he didn't do it with his hands, and he said, I can point here, but I can point here, but I can't point up there anymore. It's like, God, it's just so insane to me. I cannot believe this many people have this big of a problem with Trump. You know what I mean?
Musk,
I just can't.
Elon Musk, Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., all liberals.
Mm-hmm. All liberals.
And just like that, you guys they became just,
you don't want to question why?
I mean, just like that. Not only was Tulsi Gabbard a liberal, she stepped down from Congress to stand with Bernie Sanders. And now she's all the way on the right because Bernie Sanders proved to be nothing for them. Because he, like Trump said, he gives up too quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have any guts at all.
Yeah,
he lets the
doesn't.
Democratic Party run him. I don't know why he still calls himself
independent.
Bernie,
I know.
I don't know why he still calls himself an independent because he is really just a Democrat.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Funny thing about Bernie Sanders is that because I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, because I didn't vote for Trump the first time because I didn't know anything about Trump. Here's two things: I didn't know anything about Trump. I didn't know anything. I didn't like Hillary. That was no go for me, right? But I have said to myself that I'm no longer going to vote until I know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, that's how I felt.
I mean, at least we thought he was honest.
Yeah, I felt like if the next time that I actually vote again is going to be that I have done research and I understand what I'm voting for. Because every other time I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Bernie Sanders railed on about the pharmaceutical company, and RFK Jr. made him reveal that he took $1.5 million from the pharmaceutical company.
So he's just a big fat liar, like all the rest of them.
Liar. He's a liar.
Huge.
He's huge. He's a huge liar.
Huge liar.
You know?
But yeah, I'm like, no, I just, y'all, it's just, I can't. Bill Burr is a pretty sad case. That's a pretty sad case right there because I actually did like Bill Burr.
And are we going to talk about the Michelle Obama?
Oh, now they're all trying to get, and so now these celebrities are all trying to get podcasts now, or these political, what's his name? Gavin Newsom had his first guest was Charlie Kirk, and Charlie did you watch that?
No, I didn't.
You should look at Charlie Kirk ran this man into circles. Like he was, just to like, listen, what were you doing the whole time what have you been doing the whole time you've been governor? But he's trying to get one. I think he's just trying to be governor. He are trying to be president.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom on that podcast when he had Charlie on there, he actually said that he didn't believe in men and women's sports, the whole trans situation. And that made the left really upset. And I'm thinking that what he's trying to do is really become president. I think he's trying to go to the center at least. Mm-hmm. So, because he realizes, I think even Gavin is realizing that that's not the way to go, although I think he's on board with their policies. But I think he just wants to win.
Well, I don't think Kamala Harris is polling really well as governor. Which is California, which the Californians y'all don't ever. You guys cannot learn.
What are you guys doing over there?
I mean, Kamala Harris. I mean, they.
She had recently had word salad again. Did you see her talk? She said, "Look, let me show you this."
So, we did DoorDash because I wanted Doritos, and they were about the red carpet part was about to start. Nobody wanted to leave to go to the grocery store, so it was DoorDash. And I'm thinking about this so I was willing to give up whatever might be the tracking of Kamala Harris's particular fondness for nacho cheese Doritos for the sake of getting a big bag of Doritos as I watched the Oscars.
I don't know if this woman is popping something a pill or she's just having too many cocktails before she does things. But I don't understand how she could be in the lead as governor in California. Recent. Yeah. Is as recent as that?
This is recent, and people are like, "Oh yeah,
we gotta have her."
Kamala, no, Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama has one now.
She's another one that has a podcast. Karen and I watched it, listened to it a little bit, and it was ridiculous. Say it all together, everybody. Ridiculous.
36,000 subscribers. Michelle, the first lady.
She should have millions.
Her YouTube show has 36.6 thousand subscribers. I mean, she should have 1 million right away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, her books sell well.
The comments.
So I just can't believe that. But the people in the comments are just saying.
I can't believe they turned the comments off.
Yeah, but comments are bad.
Look at the comments. Go to Michelle Obama. The name of her channel is Michelle Obama Podcast. I'll link it below.
What is it called? The IMU, IMC?
In my opinion.
IMO.
IMO. But the name of her channel is called Michelle Obama Podcast.
And she's doing this podcast with her brother. And her brother is just so effeminate.
He's telling stories.
He's such a Democrat male. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the stories are really bad. They're trying to be relatable. And she's probably trying to run for president too. You know,
she's talking about how they used to, share a bedroom for a long time. It's just a small house, and they it's just such a poor family.
You live in Martha's Vineyard now. Like no one believes or cares about that little apartment you used to have when you guys were little kids. It's just. They're talking as though they're also like these exceptional, like these kids that we had this really bad life. I'm like, you just described most black children.
Yeah. And our parents wanted us to share our thoughts all the time, and they never really restricted us. It's a very odd podcast. It's a very strange dynamic.
We shared a bedroom when we were younger, and I was like, right, that's just Danielle and I when we were
every poor kid
right,
did.
Yeah.
We were poor kids. Every poor kid shared bedrooms with each other.
It's just what we had. We had 2 twin beds.
Ooh.
It's like, yeah, cool. It's just a dumb podcast. It's like that Meghan Markle disaster.
Yeah, that was
but the show is not good.
No, it's not.
And I think it's because when rich people try to force feed us their normality, like we're just like you. No one really ever believes it, and because it falls flat, But again, isn't it funny though how people will talk about diversity and how we need to support women, and then none of these like people on the left that are super woke. Never then go to WNBA games. Never. They're not. Right. Subscribing to Michelle Obama. Mm-hmm. Like nobody ever does any of these things. All the Disney shows that are woke have done horribly. Mm-hmm. So these people really just come up with concepts that no one really cares about.
And now they're all trying to be relatable. And the funny thing with Bill Burr, going back to him, is that he was relatable, and now he's not.
Now he's just not.
And now
he's been in Hollywood too long, and they're listening to his wife too long.
Yeah, he got stopped.
And I think Hollywood just got to him.
Yeah,
and it's just like, when was the last time he was on Joe Rogan?
But he needs to look. I saw a comment where someone said, "Bill, you need to hang out with your boy Joe." And
he might be mad because Joe support Trump.
And yeah, I know he's mad at that. He looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I do think he stepped in something that he's not knowledgeable about, and he put himself in the position to be judged on something. And with comedians, they like there were years ago there was was Johnny Carson actually, remember that video?
Yeah.
Johnny Carson actually talked about the fact that he never. Someone asked him, "Why do you never talk about your?" And it's really a good point.
Yeah.
He's a political stance, and he basically said, nobody watches me to know what I care about as far as, politics. Yeah. They watch me to laugh.
Do you get sensitive about the fact that people say, he'll never take a serious controversy?
Well, I have an answer to that. I said, now, tell me the last time that Jack Benny, Red Skelton, any comedian, used his show to do serious issues. That's not what I'm there for. Can't they see that?
But you're not...
Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an entertainer.
It would be dangerous if all of a sudden comedians started to make...
And now look at it.
Yeah, started making jokes and everything biased to a certain political party because everybody would basically listen to it.
Yeah.
And you could sway people's
Jimmy
opinion.
Kimmel,
Now they all
Jimmy
do it
Fallon,
now.
Stephen Colbert, all of these nighttime who used to be really funny, are now just stuck in this liberal political game, and now they're a joke. They're the joke now.
There was a time when Joy Behar really liked Trump.
Yeah.
And when she left the show for a short amount of time, her and Trump, she used to do the Larry King show. She would step in for him. And she talked to Donald Trump one day, and he said, "I actually miss you on the show. I think the show was better when you were on it." And it was true. Joy was better.
She wasn't funny.
She was missed to me on the View back in the day when the View was semi-normal. But she just hates Trump now.
It's sad to see the downfall of comedy like that, because we don't want to see that happen.
Yeah.
I want there to be, I understand it should be diverse. It ought to be diverse in that way, comedy and things, but it's now to the point where it's like these comedians, some of them are actually afraid to even make fun of.
Yeah, SNL used
politics.
to be funny.
Yeah, what happened?
SNL used to be really funny. It's not funny anymore.
It's really interesting when they do a skit that actually is funny, because you're like, that's probably. Did I just laugh at something? Like, it used to be not like that. It used to be like you laugh at everything. Really, really. Now it's just kind of like. I
mean, shows like In Living Color. Those were shows that used to be really funny. SNL and Living Color. All the late night talk shows made fun of everybody.
Right.
They could have anybody on the show, you know what I mean? And it would be funny, you know? Johnny Carson had everybody running on that stage, everybody, and it was always funny. It was like you'd look forward to the Tonight Show, Jay Leno said he doesn't like to do that either. No. He's I don't like putting my politics into my work. I will say, though, they all got out at the right time. Yeah. Letterman and Leno and all these people got out at the right time, because they got really, you got Jimmy Kimmel crying. On stage,
he's crying because Trump got elected. So this is how bizarre it has actually gotten. This is the actual. I keep telling y'all, the TDS is it's in full swing. People are losing their minds. I mean, it's the point now we have to have some type of a rehabilitation center for some of these people. Yeah. This is how bad we had deprogrammed some of these people.
People like Don Rickles and they couldn't. What's his name? Yeah. George Carlin and Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason, Red Fox. Joan Rivers. These people wouldn't have careers today. These are greats.
We keep telling you guys to go and look at the Dean Martin roast. Right? Just go and Google or go to YouTube and look at the Dean Martin roast. The stuff that they are saying on there.
We used to have a sense of humor.
It's racist. It's sexist. It's any kind of it's any ism, all of it, right? And it is hilarious.
But there used to be for comedians, even like when I watch Dave Chappelle, he's probably the last one, maybe. I don't know what Dave Chappelle's been doing lately.
No, he's pretty.
But there used to be a no-go zone for comedians. Comedians really could say what they want, and you didn't mess with them because that's the job. The job is to be controversial. George Carlin said, or I think it was George Carlin. He said, he's like, do you ever think you go too far? He said, my job as a comedian is to draw. There is a line. He's like, and I'm supposed to take the audience and pull them over the line, and then make them afraid to go past the line. Right. But then once they get past the line, glad that they did. Yeah. And that's the point of the comedian, is to drag you out of your comfort zone, to make you laugh at yourself, laugh at other people,
make you laugh at things that that the world's telling you is wrong to laugh at.
It's supposed to be politically incorrect. Right. That is what it is.
And so, I feel like comedians need to be protected. Real comedians, not these sellout ones now. But I think comedy needs to be protected at all costs. It is it needs to be just completely protected, because this is our last thing. Andrew Schultz is doing a really good job. He to me is like the new one that I feel like he's just not censoring himself. Please keep doing that. Please, Andrew and all these other comedians, please keep doing that, because that's why I watch comedy.
A really underrated comedian is Tim Dillon.
Oh my God.
Tim Dillon is so underrated, and he is so funny, but that's why he's underrated, because he's so funny. You know what I mean? I grew up on the Richard Pryor, explicit. Bill Cosby was hilarious back in the day. You know what I mean? The Jerry Seinfelds. I mean, Eddie Murphy. A lot of Eddie Murphy. It's just like these people. Rodney Dangerfield.
I don't want to see them cower to
I don't want to see, the good people, you're right. The good people left at the right time.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they did.
And it's just sad to me.
It is.
And watching Bill Burr go down that cliff is just really sad for me. He was very funny.
That's disappointing for me.
Yeah.
Because we think he's funny. Because he still is funny.
Sometimes I look at his old stuff and I still laugh. He was a funny guy.
He's so funny.
And it's just sad to see him not be anymore.
All right. What do you guys feel about Bill Burr? What he thought about what he said? Do you think that did he look uncomfortable to you guys? I felt like he looked uncomfortable, and he felt like he stepped in it. Like he didn't mean to. So just let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video.